canonized saint yet, but her cause is being presented recently. The Salesians presented her case. Is certainly going to be a saint at some time. Mother Margarita, as they call her, because she was a mother to the beginning of that community, not just to him as well. He had a spiritual director that is a saint, Father Joseph Cafasso. He's two immediate successors, so people that he was with, and I'm sure it went both ways. But two of his immediate successors are blesseds, so they are saints in heaven as well. He started a sister community and got another woman who also became a saint, Mary Mazzarello, not mozzarella, Mazzarello, started their sister community. And among his boys, who he worked with, Dominic Savio is well known. And just a reminder that, he didn't, as Philomena reminded you, he didn't become a saint like later in life. Okay, someday become a saint. He was a saint. He was a teenager. He died as a teenager and lived a holy life. Bosco is my favorite because of the way that he did his ministry. In John's Gospel, chapter 15, Jesus says to his disciples, "I call you friends." And that was the way Bosco went about ministry with the young people that he worked with. He became their friend. He invested in their lives. He spent time with them. He did fun things with them. He played with them. He encouraged those who became his followers to do the same. And said, in fact, this is what you have to do. This is the way you have to do it. And he says, when it's time for merrymaking, whip it up. But when it's time to pray, then they would pray. But he would get to know them and be their friend and then be able to share the gospel with them. Playing with little street kids and running all over town and amassing large amounts of them caused a little bit of trouble. It was unbecoming. And so one thing that happened was some people did think he was crazy. They did try to put him in the sane asylum, but some saints are probably on the verge of crazy too, but there's a fine line. But brilliant as well. So somehow, these guys came to get him. They had authority and were told, go get Bosco, we're going to put him in the insane asylum and check this guy out and make him get his head on straight. So the two came, I believe. One was a Monsignor or something. They have a carriage with the horses, and come on, they're going to, under the pretense of taking him someplace, I don't remember where they were going to go. And, Don Bosco, get in, go ahead, get in the carriage. No, you get in first. No, you get in first. No, I insist. So the two guys get in the carriage, he slams the door shut and says, "Off!" And the guy takes off and brings these two guys to the insane asylum. where they are admitted, because with the people there going, well, we only thought there was one coming, but there's two, that's fine, we'll take care of him. They left him alone after that, at least a little bit. Part of that was, him going around trying to find a place, but nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted all these street kids in their neighborhood. Take them somewhere else, take them far away, they're a problem. And so he was always praying for a place as he would get thrown out from one to the next. And he encouraged, in particular, he encouraged praying to saints, saying that the saints are there always wanting to intercede and be involved in our lives, so that we should reach out to them, and especially to Mary, Help of Christians. So he had a great devotion to, well, as all the saints, to the sacraments. And so one of his quotes, who's got the quotes? Which I've shared with you and is on our website, and we've done, trust everything to Jesus and the Blessed Sacrament, and to Mary, Help of Christians, and you will see what miracles are. I've been encouraging, and I invite all of you to do that for our community, and particularly for our the dream. This is my dream that, in particular way, was inspired in Turin, praying to Bosco, that we want to have a residence hall, am I done?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm like about a minute and a half, 45 seconds, minute, okay, something. To build a center, not a new church, but a hall, a residence hall, with beds for 300 and a big hall where we're able to meet because we're going to be out of this, not be able to fit in this space very much longer. So that's why we include St. John Bosco in the Eucharistic prayer as a reminder that to ask for his intercession and to Mary, Help of Christians. We're going to see what miracles are. We'll talk more about that another time. He was filled with joy and wanted the boys, particularly, to experience their faith as a joy. It was something enjoyable. It was fun. And it wasn't this boring, pious thing that the guy with the pointy hat, gave the impression of. So it's exciting and joyful. Even prayer, he would tell them prayer was joyful. And when they experienced things with him, it was a joyful experience. One other quote. Oh, and I want to recommend a book. He named his community after St. Francis de Sales. So his community is now the Salesians of Don Bosco. And so that was a particular devotion of his, and Introduction to the Devout Life is wonderful spiritual reading for that Francis de Sales wrote for lay people, not for religious, but how lay people need to integrate spirituality into their daily lives. Do you want the Lord to give you many graces? He's talking about, sorry. I just blew that. Okay. Do you want the Lord to give you many graces? Visit him often. Do you want him to give you few graces? Visit him rarely. I love that. And he's talking about visiting Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. Spending time in front of the Blessed Sacrament and receiving communion, going to confession and communion often. He's the man.
Tonight we heard from 6 different individuals about 6 different saints from 6 different backgrounds. All of these canonized saints have a feast day, so we can remember each of them by. Like I said before, there's a lot of other people and souls in heaven that we don't even know about, but they are up there. And the church sets aside one day each year to celebrate every soul that's in heaven. It's called All Saints Day, and it's coming up. It's coming Tuesday, November 1st. It is a holy day of obligation, so you have to go. So let's pray about those saints. Let's pray for their intercession for the Mass on Tuesday, for their intercession for those souls that aren't recognized as canonized saints, that the church will someday recognize them. And I want to end with a quote from Peter Kreeft again. We become saints not by thinking about it, and not by writing about it, but by simply doing it. There comes a time when the how question stops, and we just move forward. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Dessert is served at 7 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get that started. I'll go to the announcements.